right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 650 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am Via Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And we're going to talk about the game last night. Not necessarily the game, but coach's philosophy in the game by not playing his starters. Because I know that's one thing a lot of people were kind of worried about, especially with the Steelers playing their starters. Well, why Coach Smith decided not to play the starters? Well, I will give you my personal answer why I think he didn't do it. And it's basically in the title. Did he throw away the game, or was he looking forward to week one? I think he was looking forward to week one. I think that's just what it was. I think he's seen everything that he saw. He want to keep everybody healthy. He want to keep everybody in line to be ready to go in the regular season. We're going to talk about that, and give you my thoughts and opinions, like I said, and we're just going to go from there and close out this week of great content and look forward to some college football. College football starts this weekend. It's kind of crazy, right? That's wild, but I would definitely be watching. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I am also on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Google Podcasts. I will be dropping the Stitcher banner starting on Monday because we're not going to be on Stitcher probably by on the 29th. That we're dropping Stitcher because Stitcher is dropping itself. Is going to be moved on to XM Sirius. I think they bought them out, so all the podcasts over there won't be over there. And I'm going to find another avenue to put the podcast on, so you guys could be more in tune with options. So we'll just go from there. So I can be found on X at VF Baller, and the website is firstandframerates.com, firstandframerates.com. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Yeah. Coach Arthur Smith decided not to run the starters. And I think looking back on it now, I think this was a really good move. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, looking at the big picture, because once I saw the first team out there with the Steelers, I was like, okay, what coach is doing? Why coach not putting these guys out like that? And come to find out, Coach Arthur Smith basically was like, his team, he liked where his team is right now. He wanted to get those guys rest. A couple guys was nicked up. And basically, he wanted to get the other guys a chance to play. And just because they're second and third and fourth string, that doesn't mean that they don't deserve to be on the field. Just how things align. Some of these fourth, third, and second stringers could be starters somewhere else. That's just how it is. Or it could be a case where they could be one step above where they were on the team. So just to see how they face this adversity of going up against the first team of another organization, it'll show you where these guys are, and it kind of gives the coach a better understanding of who he's going to keep around, because you got to let players go, because you got to get down to a 53-man roster. It gives you more of an idea instead of putting your starters out there and risking injury or whatever the case may be. Now, I will be the first one to say, I believe that we should have had more exposure of the first team. That one drive they did have against the Bengals looked fairly good. Would like to see them have at least 2 or 3 more drives for the entire preseason, but nevertheless, you see how that went, and it just didn't playing out that way. So, coach has his own philosophy of doing things, and I'm not knocking it. It is what it is. I mean, however you want to do it, that is fine, as long as these guys are healthy and ready to go against the Carolina Panthers week 1. Which, looking at the Carolina Panthers, which I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I think the Panthers look okay. I did deem them as the biggest threat in the division, or even over the Saints. But I might be backtracking on that, because I think the Falcons could do some things against them. I mean, just by watching how those guys are playing. But I don't know. I mean, it's still preseason, so I don't know the full story, but that's just the vibe that I got. But nevertheless, this just goes to show, like, the coach has a lot riding on this season. That's just what it is at the end of the day. The coach has a lot riding on this season. If these guys aren't prepared and ready to go, we're starting with early injuries and we're behind the 8 ball, this season possibly could get out of hand really quick. So coach is trying to keep everybody intact to get ready for week 1, because if he doesn't get it right in this, if he doesn't get it right this year, it's going to be a lot of problems. I mean, there's just no way around it. I mean, you got to pass for the first 2 seasons, because we had a lot of cap problems. We had a lot of issues when it came to personnel. We had to move a lot of people around, trade some people, get under the cap. We had to do a lot of things just to get these guys, get this team in order to where it is now. Now you got this team in order the way you want it. There's really no excuse for this team to get, I would say, at least 10 wins. You should go at least 10-7. I would like for this team to go 12-5, but you can't have another 7-10 season. To be quite honest, you can't have a below 500 season, in my opinion. All of these moves you made, this is why, all these moves you made, you gotta be in a position to be over 500 this year. In my opinion, there's no other way around it. So with that being said, he's basically just protecting his players, and there's nothing wrong with that. In the big scheme of things, we as fans and we as fans of the team, you want to be entertained and want to see these guys go up against other number ones, but there's a lot riding on this season. I mean, we just got to be honest and just look at it for what it is. There's a lot riding on this season. And with that being said, those guys were going to be sitting around. Did the coach throw away the game? You can make the case that he did. I mean, it was like, okay, I'm not going to risk it. I'm not even going to try to win this game. I just want to see what my backups can do, and we can get a big picture evaluation of all the guys that we have that aren't number ones, because the guys that aren't number ones, they're going to be the ones that's going to be, and in some cases, you can even say the guys who aren't number ones or twos, they're going to be the ones that's going to, they're going to be the ones that's going to be evaluated, as far as who we keep, who we don't keep. So the strategy was cool. I get it. I'm not against it. But initially I was more like, what's going on here? So at the end of the day, it is, it's cool. We did get blown out 24-0, but it wasn't, I ain't gonna say it wasn't a meaningful game, because you do get a chance to get some evaluation and you do get a chance to see who is what. But to be quite honest, it didn't hold that much weight, because at the end of the day, we got to have these guys ready to go when it comes to week one. Anything could have happened. You could try to get Bijan Robinson out there. Something could have happened with him while he's running the ball, and then he's out for 6-7 weeks, possibly just destroying all the plans you had to establish a dynamic, running game, dynamic pass catching out the backfield. You could mess up a lot of things like that. Let's just say something would have happened to another one of our receivers. And yes, the receiver court looks pretty good, but you don't want nothing to happen. What if something could happen to Desmond Ridder on the first drive that we have? Now you're leaning towards Logan Woodside or Taylor Heineke, which, to be honest, if you look at Logan Woodside, it's not, really not that bad of an idea when you really, really think about it, because Logan Woodside looked pretty good, but you've invested all your time for this guy, Desmond Ridder, to learn this system, learn this game, learn what your philosophy from the neck up, and you're going to ruin that because you're trying to play a guy on in the third game of the preseason. If that's the case, we would have been criticizing Coach Arthur Smith probably for the next, half of the season, probably the entire season. So I get it. So I'm not knocking it at the end of the day. But so that's what I'm gonna take from it. Did he throw away the game? Yeah, in a sense. But he's looking forward to week one, because there's a lot riding on this season, and it's a lot. A lot of people know it. People know it. Will there be a chance for him to draft Caleb Williams if things go wrong? You never know. Some guys are already looking forward to that, already. But it could be a possibility that Coach Arthur Blank be like, not Coach Arthur Blank, but owner Arthur Blank be like, forget it. Let's get rid of all of this. I gave you 3 seasons, and I gave you a situation to get rid of my quarterback to get cap space, and you still can't get over 7 wins. Yeah, that'd be a problem. So there's a lot riding on this, and Coach Arthur Smith have big expectations for this team and this organization, him and Terry Fontenot. So they're protecting their team, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I want to get out of here. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this commentary, the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It was a smart move on the back end. At first, I was a little upset, but putting all the backups in for the last game while the Steelers played their first team is cool. There's a bigger fish to fry. I can be found on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Google Podcasts, also on YouTube and Rumble. The website is firstoframerates.com. And the things that don't make it to this show, I usually talk about those things on X at VF Baller. I will probably start putting more stuff over there because social media, man, I love it. It's good for content creating, but scrolling down that timeline, man. Maybe it's me. I'm following the wrong people. I don't know. But then again, the for you side of X is. You guys enjoy your weekend. Hopefully, you guys get to see some good football. Hopefully, good football is on deck because it's been a while since we saw some real live action football and not just preseason. I'm talking about some real games that matter. And college football is about to do that. All right, y'all. I'm getting up out of here. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy and y'all be blessed. Peace.